Hello, welcome back to Brandon Bakes. Today we'll be baking apple bread. Here's the recipe if you want to follow along. Alright, so what you're first going to want to do is preheat your oven to 300 and get out a big mixing bowl. Alright, so what you're first going to want to do is combine 3/4 cups of oil, vegetable oil, 3 eggs, start to crack it on the bowl, oops, I got a little bit of shell in there. That's okay. You just want to take it out because you don't want eggshells in your bread. Alright. You're also going to add 3/4 cup of sugar. What? 1.5 cups of sugar. And then some vanilla. Let me just get out my vanilla. That one's kind of hard to measure out, so I saved to measure it out here. And you want 1 teaspoon. Alright, throw that in the sink. Alright, then you're going to want to just mix it in a little bit. Very little bit, but you're going to want to just make everything combined. I recommend using an electric mixer for this entire time because this stuff's going to get really thick and stuff, so hand mixer will be really hard to mix with. Alright, now the lowest number, mix it. Now you want to add the rest of your dry ingredients. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And 3 cups of flour. Just move this out of the way because... And actually, I think I should add a little bit at a time because I don't want to have a flour bomb. So mix in, add a little bit more, mix in, add a little bit more. That's what you should do with adding the flour. Alright. Add a little bit more flour. It's getting really hard to mix. Alright. More flour. Holy moly, it's getting hard to mix. You might want to turn your mixer up a little bit more just because it's getting really hard to mix. Alright. Kind of looks like a chocolate chip cookie mix without the chocolate chips. Now add the rest of your flour. And mix the rest of it in. You're gonna get stuff from the beaters that you just gotta mix, you just gotta keep on mixing till everything's out of the beaters. Stuff's coming out, but you're still going to want to mix it for a little bit more. And if you heard like it getting like the beaters getting a little bit low, the mix is going to be crazy thick, so that's why it sounded like it was getting really low. Alright, so the rest of the stuff's not coming out. I'm going to push it all out. Alright, now you're going to add 3 cups of apples. And nuts if you want them, chopped up nuts. So, I don't really like nuts in apple bread, so I'm not adding nuts, but if you want to add nuts, I recommend walnuts or pecans. You're going to put your apples in. And then you cannot mix this with this because it will just like mash up all the apples. So you're going to want to use your spatula and just mix them all in. It's going to be really hard to do it though, so you really got to use your muscles. Alright, so when you're done mixing everything in, you want to spread them in evenly among 2 normal sized bread pans. So it's going to be really hard, and so you're going to also need to really use your muscles. And then you're going to get a lot of stuff from the spatula too. Alright, I have finished putting all the stuff in the bread pans. So you're going to want to put them in the oven that you preheated to 300 for an hour and a half. Yes, you heard me correctly, an hour and a half. It takes a long time to bake, but it's because you're cooking it so low and so you're cooking it really low and slow. Just grab the other one. Alright. Set a timer for an hour and a half. And that's when they'll be done. Alright, so the bread's almost done. And the test when it's done, you're going to need your cake tester or a toothpick and 2 cooling racks. Alright, so my bread just went off. Let's pull them out. And you're going to want to use your cake tester on them to see if they are done. Let me test this one. This one is done. And let me test the other one. This one is done too. So you're going to want to let them sit for like 10 minutes over here just to cool down a little bit. And then you can put them on your rack. Alright, so you're going to want to loosen these up with a butter knife. And I already did that, but do that around the edges. And then take a cooling rack and shake it onto the cooling rack. The bread stuff, I couldn't come up with a name for a second, is going to be hot. So you might want a hot pad to do it with. Pull it off and just flip it back over with your hands. Put it over here and move it off to the side. Now you're going to do that with the same thing with your second one. That one just came right off. And you're going to want to let them cool on the cooling racks for about a half hour. Alright, so the apple bread is done cooling, so I'm going to try it. It's so good. It's like, it's bread, yeah. If you make bread with like cinnamon apples, that's exactly what it tastes like. Yeah, that's really good. Alright, and this is the end of the apple bread video. If you liked it, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any recommendations, leave it down in the comments below. See you next time. Bye!